All right, so warm-up number 19 reads, compute the standard deviation and sketch a bell curve using 5, 10, 4, 7, 9, 12, and 2. It's about 7 data. See how you do with that? Go. All right, check with the neighbors, see what they got for that warm-up. Then Hannah's going to enlighten us with the answer for all that. Make sure they got the process. All right. So, to get us started, ascending order, Hannah, what's next? Which is, hands if you got 7. All right, from there. From all the numbers, subtract the 7. And that gives us -5, -3, -0, 2, 3, and 5. Yeah? Then? Square all of these numbers all the way down. Nice. So this is 25, 9, 4, 0, 4, 9, and 25. And then the new mean is 10.86. And so you got something like that. All right. All right. Standard deviation. Check with your neighbor. Approximately what did they get? Standard deviation. All right, Hannah. 3.3 approximately. Hands if you got that. All right. Next, help me set the bell curve up, and Hannah's going to pass it to someone. Julius, what do I set up first? Oh, all right. Jacob, go. Get me started. What do I do first? Oh, Julian? Okay, go, Julian. 7 on top for the mean. All right, so X bar, there it is. Subtracting plus to the 7, so where are we at? 3.7, 10.3. So that's our 1 up standard deviation, 1 down standard deviation. And what do we call this? And if you got something like that, all right, I'll stop right there, and we know how to set up the other standard deviations. Send that in, please. Copy the agenda. Warm-up number 19. We're still in the middle of statistics and probability. We're setting up just the foundational concepts before we move on to other better things. And yesterday we started with variables. Is that correct? And we were able to work with some of those. And today we're moving on with more variables, but now to a different area in statistics. So hopefully for tonight is found in your textbook, page 10, numbers 1 through 16, evens only, evens only. And everybody got their textbook last night, right? Am I right? Am I right? All right, good. Make sure you put your write your name inside of that textbook in case you misplace it. Believe it or not, yesterday I had some people already. I have somebody's book over here. My goodness. Bah. How can you forget a book? Huge book. It's like, really? What am I talking about? You guys forget your $1,500 phones different places, so. Might as well a $200 book, right? All right, send in your home plate, and here's access to the presentation. Here's the code. FERQ8, FERQ8, FERQ8. All right, so last night's home plate, go to Canvas, turn that in, please. It's 6 questions or problems. Tonight's home plate is going to look like this. Let's go. All right, so get a Cornell note ready. Our objective for today, I can classify qualitative and quantitative statistics. I can classify qualitative and quantitative statistics. I can classify qualitative and quantitative statistics. Set up your Cornell note. You don't need a fair amount today, so give you some time. So here we go. I can classify qualitative and quantitative statistics. So before we move on, think about the word statistics. Yesterday I gave you a definition. Without looking at your notes, tell your neighbor in your own words, what are statistics? What are statistics in your own words? All right, type me in your own words the definition on your screen. What are statistics? Again, make sure you put those mobile devices away. AirPods. Ten, nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Did you type something like that? Yes. The science of conducting studies. And then you should have written somewhere collecting, organizing, summarizing, and all that. But at the end, I do want to see in the definition what? What is imperative? Conclusions. At the end, you have to come up with a conclusion once you are given a situation, because we're heading that way. All right? So we got that. So yesterday we talked about data values. Look up to the screen. And we said that data are values that is a collection of facts or information. We talked about surveys yesterday. We talked about inferential versus descriptive. You guys remember that? Yeah? All right. So now we're moving on. We're still focusing on variables, okay? So today we're going to be talking more about variables, and we're still in categorical and quantitative. Tell your neighbor the difference between categorical and quantitative. They should know by now. All right, looks like Rianne got it. Very good, Rianne. I see you. Jessica's got it. All right, Mitos, what are categorical? Can be expressed with numbers, and of course, quantitative can be expressed with numbers. All right, right now you're going to copy this so you can have it in your notes. However, look up. From now on, categorical can also be known as, if numbers could be quantitative, categorical is also known as qualitative. Qualitative. Copy that, please. Copy it on your notes so you can have the notes. I'll give you some time. Go. All right. So once again, we're focusing right now on variables, and we're talking about qualitative, also known as categorical, and quantitative. And we know the difference between one and the other. However, today's focus is going to be just on quantitative. I am going to show you some qualitative ones, but my focus is going to be here on the quantitative side. Why, Mr. Q? Because now we're going to be breaking it down a little bit further. So on this side, quantitative data can be expressed in two different ways, known as discrete or continuous. Write that down, please. Discrete or continuous. Now, since we said that quantitative can be expressed with numbers, well, with that, those two different types of numbers, I'm going to write that discrete can be counted. Can be counted, which means it has a beginning and an end. However, continuous, what does that mean? Obviously, it cannot be counted because it continues going. Does that make sense? Kind of like if I was to play a basketball game against Jacob, my scoring will be continuous. Whereas Jacob will be what? Discrete, because it would stop at a certain point. Ooh. Did I go there, Jacob? Let's go! Anyways, so we're going to be focusing on those really quick. So once again, discrete versus continuous. Are we there? All right, let's see if we got it. Look at example 1. And it reads, is it discrete or continuous? It says, number of touchdowns Royce Freeman scored while attending IHS. Tell your neighbor if that's discrete or continuous. All right. Let's see. What do you think, Aaron? Discrete. Why? You can count how many there were. Is that correct? And there's definitely a number out there, which is a total amount of touchdowns that they were able to count. All right. Not bad. Let's go to the next one. Look up. Number of hours a week teenagers spend on social media. Tell your neighbor, discrete or continuous? Think about it. If I was to stop teenagers on the street, or starting in this class, will I ever have just a fixed number? No, some of y'all live on social media. I'm like, what? Instead of doing your home play, come on, let's go. Does that make sense? Therefore, this is what, everyone? Continuous. Write that one down on your paper, please. Have that as an example. Write that down. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. Example 1, Super Q reads, the amount of money someone earns working 40 hours a week at a gas station that pays minimum wage in California. So your neighbor, discrete or continuous? Discrete and continuous, tell them why. All right. Alyssa, what do you think? Why? Exactly how many hours and exactly how much you're getting paid. Minimum wage now, they raised it to what, $20? So 40 times 20, that's 800, right? But that's before taxes. What am I talking about, right? They take away 30% of your stuff. Last one. Here we go. Example 1, Mega Q. Discrete and continuous. The weights of high school athletes in Imperial Valley this 2024-2025 school year. So they gather all the athletes, weigh them. Tell your neighbor, discrete or continuous? Discrete or continuous? All right, let's see. Looks like Julian's got this. What do you think, Julian? Continuous? Who says continuous? Okay, who says discrete? All right, so I can go, if Julie makes an argument saying, well, weight can go up and down, Mr. Q, and any given time, they can change. I get that, so I will go continuous. But if somebody says there's a cutoff just for today, gather all the the athletes, there's going to be a specific number, so it's what? Discrete. Okay? All right, from 1 to 5, I'll come to Barrio with discrete and continuous. We got this, right? All right. Next. So, as we continue with discrete and continuous variables, these could be classified. What does that mean? We can set them in categories. Classification of variables is by categories or counted and measured. How we can categorize them, counted and measured. So, underneath where you wrote this down, make this table, please. Like a little Freire model. How do we classify variables? They are known as nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. That's how we can classify them. And this is going to be the last portion of the session today. Like that, hopefully we have enough time. Yeah, we have enough time, so hopefully you can finish your home play in class. But wait, you don't have your textbooks. What? But I got them on the screen. Let's go. All right, nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. All right, so what is nominal, Mr. Q? Well, nominal is a list of data without any particular order or ranking. Once again, nominal is the list of data without any particular order or ranking. So kind of like if I said, all right, guys, each of you need to go out there and interview 10 people and just write me their names. Do they have to be in any order? No. You just write their names. Guess what? That is nominal variables. Second one, ordinal. Ordinal is the list of data with a particular order or ranking. So let's say, once again, I tell you, okay, guys, you need to go out there in the quad, interview 10 people, but I want them listed in alphabetical order. Well, guess what? Now they have a certain order. Does that give one more value than the other? No, it's just in order. Interval. Interval is the list of data with a particular order. However, now the ranking has a precise difference between the ranks. So kind of like, let's say, I want you guys to go out there and find me 10 people and get their height. And you're going to write them, making a list by height. So that's a ranking, but it has a specific meaning. And last but not least, list of data with particular order and rankings, precise differences in ranks, however, using ratios. Ratios, this is where we start using numbers here in regards to ratios. So what does that mean? Whenever you set something aside using numbers, you can create ratios using those numbers. All right? So, look up. You're going to find this in your textbook once you go home if you want to recap on the session today. Here's some examples of nominal. Look up. Whenever you gather zip codes, gender, eye color, political affiliation, religious affiliation, major field of study, or nationality, that's just like gathering information according to those things. Do they have any particular order or weight? No. Ordinal. Going by grades, A, B, C, D, E, no E, but F. Judging, having people in first, second, and third place, and so on and so forth. They have some rankings. Interval. Now universities use SAT scores, such as, whatever you score, and that's how they go about in regards to getting people in their list. And that has a very high measure of importance. And ratio, once again, height, weight, time, salary, age, using numbers so that you can create ratios. So, here goes some information. Look up, writing utensils down. Let me give you a nominal, and I'm going to use some variables here. Here we go. James Harden, Stephen Curry, LeBron, Michael Jordan, and Nikola. So look at that. No particular order. I just wrote down some names. There they are. We good? All right. Ordinal. Tell your neighbor why they are written in that order. Why are they written in that order? Tell your neighbor. So over here, the order doesn't matter. Over here, it did matter, but I'm going by what? Their first name and initial, right? J, L, M, N, and S. Okay. So I'm just ordering them by their initial for their first name. Okay. Interval has a very specific weight and importance, the order. Michael Jordan, Curry, LeBron, Harden. What am I doing here? From greatest? Ooh, let's go. All right. And let me go over here. This is how much they bench. You get the idea, right? What am I using here for ratio? I'm using what? Actual numbers. Why? Because I can create what? Ratios or fractions. Are we there? So do we understand each of those categories? All right. Classification. All right. So with that said, think about that one. Those are my variables. Look at your list. There's 4 of them. What classification would you give that? Talk to your neighbor. Let them know. What classification? Now be careful because each of those have a numerical value. All right, looks like Anna's got it. Very good, Anna. Aubrey. All right, Aubrey. I see you. So let's go with Martin. What do you think? Ordinal. Okay. Hands if you say ordinal. Okay, not bad. What do you think, Jay? Ordinal as well? Okay. Ricardo, what do you think? Ratio. Why do you say ratio? A numerical value, right? How many ounces is this one, everyone? 16, this one. 32, and this one. 64. Therefore, you can arrange this with ratios. Got to be careful with that, okay? Yes. Ooh. No. We're going with ratios. Nice try, though. Nice try. Let's go to the next one. Write it on your screen. What do you think this one is? What kind of variable? Write it on your screen. Tell your neighbor why you're writing that. Ten, nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I have a lot of you that are saying nominal, 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 because there's no order. However, check this out. Even though we don't have one of these here, look up. What if I had this one being a Porsche way up front? Will that change? Will that change the variable? Think about it. If I had the Porsche up front and left the other ones back there, would that change the value of the variable? Why? Yep, some of you will be looking at it by price or by value. So check this out. So whenever you're looking at a variable like this, it's going to be sometimes a little bit subjective in regards to what they're asking you to classify it by. So they're asking you to classify it just by looking at it, looking at random cars, and I would go with nominal because it doesn't have a particular order. But if you're looking at it through the value of the vehicle and they have a nice vehicle way up front, then the subjective would be what? The value of the vehicle. And that would be ratio or ordinal. Yeah. And the last one, look up. Tell your neighbor what that is. Type it on your screen, please. I see that most of you are writing ratio. That would be correct. Now, if I just had, look up, if I just had the student name by itself in that order, it would be like maybe a nominal because it doesn't have a particular order. But in this case, they're going ranking by score, so that would be ordinal using the scores. However, if you're giving it more importance in regards to using the scores to, let's say, give an award, then we would go with ratio because now it has a value and importance to it. All right. So with that said, quick poll on your screen. How do you feel with today's qualitative and quantitative variables? And for those of you who are following on YouTube, I'm posting the hopefully on the screen so you can pause the video, do the practice problems on the screen, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.